Welcome back to BSLIVE. In this episode, I want to be doing another Rorschach test using my own brain and as well with the help of AI. So yeah, you might already know the process, but today I'll be doing this using this Inkbrush Geometry Nodes by Wutian Xing. So yeah, he made this Geometry Nodes Inkbrush tools that has been updated to version 1.0. So you can download this, name the fair price, and then download it. And the blend is ready to use. So the idea is really you you start with some kind of inkblot pattern that's mirrored, and then you just try to reimagine it. You can actually do this without the prompt. Excuse me. You can actually turn off no prompt. In this case, I'm using Draw Things app, so it will try to follow this pattern. And then, in this case, I asked this to create a close-up of human face, symmetrical. It's gonna come out with some ideas about human face. I really like this one, so it's gonna keep generating 100 times while we are doing this. At the same time, I'm also running it using this automatic 1111 web UI for Stable Diffusion, and we should already have some result here from this morning. So human face, symmetrical, that's probably the easiest one to recreate. So if you just use the tool, just gonna turn on everything again. So basically with this tool, you need to have a curve with geometry nodes modifier being applied. So there's a lot of option here that you can play around with. The tool will actually work from inside of the camera. So if you are outside the camera, you don't see the ink, but if you are inside the camera, turn on lock and move around, you should be seeing the ink kind of rotating. Anyway, I like to work like orthographically and then Control Option 0 to reframe the camera. I have mirror already applied for the geometry nodes to output the result. So I start with this, delete everything, go to edit mode while we are selecting the curve, and start drawing. So this is like, I don't know what I'm drawing maybe like some kind of creatures from the abyss. So if you're drawing, right, you end up with something like this. You can actually animate this using the last controller here. Leave it to 100 so you always see all your stroke, just in case it disappears. So at the moment I'm only painting on the flat plane of the camera, but you can always move around. It's 3D, and you can always use objects. So you can paint on the surface of the object. Just gonna render this. What's the resolution? I only need 512 by 512, but this one seems okay. A little bit too thin for my taste. That's okay. Save this. Stop this. I'm using, in this case, I'm using Stable Diffusion. I can also use Canny Edge Map. We can see which one is better. And the model I'm using is also for Stable Diffusion 1.0. Let's start with new blank canvas. Just load layer, scribble. So what does this look like too? This looks like some kind of creature from the abyss with tentacles. I don't have negative prompt, but I can just type in ugly, blurry, watermark, worse quality, low quality, or I can use like the textual inversion and just type in bad prompt. I am using the dial save for painting and just hit generate. So again, this one is using Scribble. I can turn on no prompt if I don't write any prompt, so the AI will try to guess what is this and then try to recreate something out of it. It looks like it could be like an insect. If we type in insects, we're gonna end up with a lot of insects drawings, I guess. So this one still keep doing its job. Let's interrupt this. So I can use image to image or just text to image. Let's get rid of this, replace it with our new. Let's try portrait of insect creature cyberpunk. I like the cyberpunk thing, and we're just gonna use textual inversion, or actually in this case, what is it? Can we use LoRa? I think it's textual inversion, but it's not showing up. I'm gonna check under embedding. There's a let's see. Okay, easy negative. And just generate. In this case, I'm actually using realism engine model. It's gonna produce realistic result because this is Stable Diffusion 2.0, and I'm using Canny and Canny SD21. I don't know what result I'll be getting, but I could type in like anything. Okay, with this, we're starting to get something that looks like a kind of like a boss creatures in Final Fantasy. So you can type whatever into the prompt and see what's the AI is gonna come out with. Make 100 variations each time. I mean, sometimes you get you probably get bored. Oh, this one is kind of interesting. It's creating unusual result. You can say cyberpunk, Final Fantasy, monster, Yoshitaka Amano, hyper realistic. Monster is always pretty good prompt to create anything. This is using Scribble. I can replace it with anything. Sometimes you can actually use this as a depth. I have a feeling doesn't look like it's using this Canny. Let's interrupt this. Instead of Canny, we're gonna use Scribble pre-processing, and I don't know, maybe just use Scribble, and in this case Protogene photorealism. That's pretty good one. You can also try to use depth. We actually have this depth, right? Zoe depth. Let's say we use this. Maybe not the best one, but it's gonna try to create depth from this depth map, and then we can use the depth map to generate whatever. Okay, see, we get the depth. We can download it. Oops. Save image to download. Go under downloads, check it out. Okay, ink creature.png. So with the depth map, I really prefer the depth map actually. Let's interrupt this again. The depth map is really cool. The way our brain think, maybe everything looks flat, but our brain maybe interpret it as something with depth. So turn off this pre-processing. We don't need that. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, we get an actual creature. Yeah, that's Canny. Inkblot. Yeah, cool. We get like a Power Ranger insect. But the depth, okay, we're using the depth this time. Hyper, or just say realistic, highly detailed masterpiece. We make how many? Let's make 4. Generate. So proto gene model, way set to automatic, prompt positive, negative. Okay, sampling method can be better. This one, sample step 20, the size 768. This could be smaller. And the depth control net, it's been set to the default. Okay, this one. Let's interrupt this once again. Let's take a look at this guy. Okay, it's looking not bad. You can see it's trying its best. We can try deliberate model. This one also gives like a realistic result. This one we might actually come out with something super interesting here. Generate. While we are waiting, let's come back to Blender. I don't like how it is a little bit thin at the moment. Select our curve, go to modifier, make it thicker. This might be a version, it's probably not the one that I want. And this is this one is probably version 1. File, save as. Version 5 it says, okay. I'll make my own version now. Set this to 512 to 512. There's a video tutorial from the creator itself, or himself. Let's see. Our camera, yeah. Okay. There's an extra curve there. That's the one. Yep. Use the one with ink dripping there. Select the ink. Delete. It doesn't need to be symmetrical, but I don't know, maybe create an actual human face, angry human face. Okay. If it's too short of a stroke, it doesn't show up. It seems like that's the case. Or okay, increase this to 200. Okay. And we're gonna mirror. Which axis? Okay. Be this axis. Control Option 0. Reframe the camera. Okay, this is the axis. Let's back to edit mode. So the stroke actually have some kind of personality as well. So depending if you go this way or go the other way around, we create some kind of monster creature with arms and leg. Yeah, okay, could be like a creature, like a fire type of creature, or could be like a tree creature, whatever. It's just a stroke that you can turn into depth, and you can use this to generate more creations. Let's stop this. Okay, deliberate, not too bad, not bad, but we can do better. Load layer scribble from files. Yeah, let's do this. This one finished. Okay, insects, creature, not bad. Not bad actually. Yeah, can do better. Let's try Zoidips once again. This one. This is more like humanoid creatures. So Zoidips is an extension for WebUI Automatic 1111 Stable Diffusion. So it's an extension, but it's also available online. So we get this save image as okay, monster depth, monster ink png. Go to text to image, get the depth here, control net depth mode, protogene. Okay, isi negative, ugly, worse quality, protogene, photorealism. Monster creature, generate. This one's still working on it. We can use Scribble, or we can use Canny or Depth. I think those three are pretty good. And then you can also use image to image. And also you need to care about the positive and negative prompts that you're typing in it. And yeah, just wait and see the result. In this case, it's not particularly interesting. Yeah, it's a little bit too abstract for my taste. Scribble, let's try as an image. Select from file. Oh, okay, we have the depth. Okay, load the depth from file. Depth's actually working, sometimes working really well. Depth map version 2. I have actually version 2 as well here. Let's see, what else? Realism engine, that's a new one actually. If I turn on no prompt, use realism engine, let's see what we're gonna get. So it's not using this prompt. The AI is just gonna take a look at this, and then it's trying to guess what this is actually is. We might be getting something that's surprising. Okay, this one is a little bit better. I can increase the batch count to 10. Yeah, this one's better. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Ability for the AI to reimagine it as something else. Okay, would be nice if you turn this into 3D, right? Or ask real human artists to make this from scratch. That's also kind of interesting, I guess. You have probably artists in the studio that can sculpt it. Use this as a concept art, or just doing it yourself. That's also pretty fun. I'm using Nomad Sculpt on the iPad, or just use Blender on sculpting. Yeah, I don't know. And always, once you create it, you can animate it or just put it in the game engine. The depth itself can be useful to create a 3D in this sort of, right? And then you can actually have something from this guy. You have the output that you generated. Let's say this guy over here. You can use Zoe depth, put it there. So it's reusing this, recreating a new depth, and then you can turn it into 3D magically. I mean, yeah, image to 3D, that would totally work. So I just hit submit, I think. See, we have 3D. It's not really perfect, but you can download this as GLB and bring it into Blender, etc. It's not perfect, but still pretty cool. It's only like projected. It's only 2.5D. But I don't know, maybe you can make volume out of this. I don't know, maybe that's the next one, next step. It's for the next video. Yeah, this one starting to, it's a little bit abstract, and that's, you know why this is abstract. It looks like alien-like, but because we support no prom. Monster alien-like creature underwater. And if you find a result that you like, even though it's stylistic, it's not realistic, and you want it to be more realistic, save this and reload it as image to image, and then why not? That could work as well. This one, keep generating its thing. One more thing, okay, this, for example, like I said, you have a certain design that you like. Use, maybe with Leonardo, you can actually use this as inspirations, and let's try this just for fun. So from this image, there's image to image, there's also image prom. So we just put in a lot of different image of our creature, for example. So we can have multiple, and tell it to generate based on these inspirations and creativity scale. Just hit generate. Try using different model as well. Deliberate is, there's also RPG one that's really good. So it's gonna create a dream that is inspired by this image over here that we passing into Leonardo. Portrait of monster creature. Against full body portrait, it's gonna give a different result. I actually quite like this close-up one. Generate again. Take a look. Yeah, it's definitely Leonardo have really good model. It's well trained for this type of creations. Cyberpunk monster. This one's still working. Let's get back to our text to image. Here we go. So we have infinite ways to create this type of monsters, right? I can increase this to 100 and increase the size as well. 1024, 1024. And yeah, probably that's what I will do, and do a render out of it. This one from Leonardo is not yet finished. the one using drawings, also recreating something that's completely different because of different prompt and also different model that we are using. But I think overall it's really fun, like endless fun basically. From a concept art, you can make character with wings, even, I don't know, delete. If you try again, oops, yeah, close your eyes and then try to draw your dream. Your nightmare or whatever. I don't know. And you use this as inspirations for the AI to create. But normally you can also use your own imaginations, right? But yeah, why not ask AI as well to create something for you? I think it's a rather quite interesting idea to try. All right, so hopefully you find this useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.